Okay, this is the PE4 paper from June 2022. It's question number 4, which as you can see is a differentiation question, and in particular this is obviously implicit differentiation. Right, so let's have a look at it, make a start. It says, curve as the equation, then that thing, 16x cubed minus 9kx squared y plus 8y cubed equals 875. Show that dy by dx is equal to that. Okay, right, no problem with doing that then. Just remind ourselves when we're differentiating, well, let's write it out first of all. So we've got 16x cubed minus 9k x squared y plus 8y cubed is equal to 875. Now, depending on how confident you feel with these things, I'll do this quite slowly, but certainly that shouldn't cause you any problems differentiating. Really, neither should that one, because it's just going to be 24y squared and then times dy by dx, differentiate it, and then stick the dy by dx in. But this part here is actually a product. So depending on how slowly you want to go, I'd rather you took your time, spent a little bit of time on it and got it right, than you tried to rush and you made mistakes with this. 8 marks for this, we're not going to get those 8 marks back. So I wouldn't necessarily do it like I'm showing you here, but just to make sure that you can see. If we just take the minus 9k x squared y, we could think about that as being u and that as being v, and then we differentiate that as a product. So if you're differentiating a product, you do u dv by dx plus v du by dx. So I'm going to do it quite quickly even as a product. U is minus 9k x squared. U dv by dx then is the differential of this second one, so it's the differential of y, so it's dy by dx. Okay, what I'm doing is u dv dx plus v du dx. I'm just trying to do it quite quickly here. So that's u dv dx. V du dx then, v is y, and du dx then is the differential of minus 9k x squared. The differential of minus 9k x squared is just going to be 18k, or minus, I'll do a minus 18k x. Now, as I say, I wouldn't necessarily have written any of this down like this, but just to explain where that bit's come from, I probably might leave that and then say, okay, let's differentiate it all then. So differential of 16x cubed, multiplied by the power, take one off the power. It's going to give me 48x squared. Differentiating this second term here then is going to be all of that there, tidied up. So it's going to be minus 9k x squared dy dx minus 18k xy, just rewritten that a little bit, and then differentiating 8y cubed, multiplied by the power, take one off the power, 24y squared, but if you have a function of y then it's dy by dx equals, and then obviously, excuse me, differentiating the 875 is going to be equal to 0 there. So what we want to do now is to get the dy by dx's on one side, so these two need to go over to one side and leave everything else on the other side. So if I'm doing that, I'm going to have 48x squared minus 18kxy is equal to 9kx squared dy by dx minus 24y squared dy by dx. That's awful handwriting. Dy by dx. So let's just make it clear, that became a negative and that became a positive when I took them over to the other side. So at this stage, you might want to start looking at your answer dy by dx, but I personally won't yet. I'm just going to say take dy by dx out as a factor. So we're actually going to get 48x squared minus 18kxy. Now I know things can factorise out of that, I'm just leaving it for the time being. Dy by dx, just still can't write properly. 9kx squared minus 24y squared, and now I'm going to say, okay, so dy by dx is one divided by the other, so dy by dx then works out to be 48x squared minus 18kxy, all divided by 9kx squared minus 24y squared. Now, as I say, you could have, as you were going through, differentiated bits out there. I just thought it'd be easier just to look at them now. And at this stage, actually, 3 goes into everything. 3 goes into 48, 3 goes into 18, 3 goes into 9, 3 goes into minus 24. So if I do that, I'm going to get, so say that, divide all by 3. Let's just go back and look at the actual answer here. So look how we've got it there. Notice they haven't taken x out as a factor. They've still got 6 and 16 in there. All they have actually done is, at the stage I'm at here, is to divide everything by, I think it's by minus 3 actually, not even by 3. By minus 3 here, which will give me dy by dx is equal to, yep, so if I did minus 18kxy divided by minus 3, will give me 6kxy. If I did 48x squared divided by minus 3, gives me minus 16x squared, all divided by, and then the same with the other one. The reason I've had to do that is just they might have taken the, up here at this stage, sorry, not that stage, up here at this stage, they might have left the dy's on this side and taken the other ones over to the other side. It doesn't make any difference as you're going through, as long as you have no problem with that last step there to get my final answer. So that's nice, but it's always good when we're trying to prove it's equal to something, because it means that we know that we've got that bit right. So show that is fine. Part B, given that the curve has a turning point at x equals 5 over 2, can we find k? Right, yeah, so let's do it, but then I'll also talk to you just generally about what happens with these. So for part B, if it's a turning point, so let's just say this and make it clear we know. At a turning point, dy by dx is going to be equal to 0. That's what turning points are. Dy by dx equals 0. So that means that all of this bit here is going to equal to 0. Now, this is what they use pretty regularly in the exam. The examiners are actually doing something like that. That's an impossible equation to solve, because we've got k's and x's and y's, but because we say dy by dx equals 0, and we're always likely to have a nature where we have a fraction here, we do not now need to worry about this denominator. The denominator can't be equal to 0, so it can just go. If this whole function is equal to 0, then just the top bit's equal to 0. So you should have been anticipating that. I was anticipating that before we got started. Excuse me. As soon as I read the question and saw the second part was a turning point, and I saw that fraction, I just thought, oh, right, brilliant. Okay, this is going to drop out really nicely here, that I'm going to get the numerator is equal to 0. So the numerator is equal to 0, and they've told me x is equal to 5 over 2. So we just have to wait and see what we get now. So if I put 5 over 2 in, it's 6k 5 over 2y minus 16 5 over 2 squared equals 0 here. So yeah, if we multiply all that out, we're going to get 15ky there minus 100 is equal to 0. Right, so what that means then is that I'm going to get a value for y, but in terms of k. Let's just rearrange all this. So we're going to get, I'll just do that really, really quickly. Y is going to be 100 over 15k, isn't it? So 100 over 15k. Y is going to be, tidy that up, 20 over 3k. So what they want, if you go back and look at it, is they've said, can you find the value of k? Well, what we know is if I put that back into the original equation now, back up and in there, I know x is equal to 5 over 2, and I know obviously the whole thing is equal to 575, and I know y is going to be equal to 20 over 3k. So the only thing I'll have then is k as the unknown. Let me just show you, probably easier to just show you. So y is equal to 20 over 3k. Go back to the original equation, 16x cubed minus 9k x squared y plus 8y cubed is equal to 875, we know when x is 5 over 2, y is 20 over 3k. Let's make that neater as a 3k there. So if we plug all that in, we're going to get 16 lots of 5 over 2 cubed minus 9k lots of 5 over 2 squared, and then y is 20 over 3k, and then plus 8 lots of 20 over 3k cubed is all equal to 875. Now I just have faith that this is now going to all tidy up and be equal to something. So as we multiply that out, the k's there are going to cancel, so multiply that out, multiply out this bit here. I'm not going to spend too much time doing that. I'll let you get to the stage where what we actually get to, if you multiply all that out, is we get that k cubed works out to be equal to 64 over 27. So you can go ahead and just go through those steps to get that. The reason I did want to mention that one is when I get to that stage, I absolutely know I've got this right. Because look, I've got a cubic number on the top and I've got a cubic number on the bottom. So that could not have happened by accident. Okay, so when you're going through all that and we get to that stage, and that then gives me k working out to be equal to 4 over 3, that's as good as in the first part where they say show it's equal to, and I knew I got that bit right. I have absolutely no doubt now that I've got that bit right, because it just couldn't have worked out to be that by accident. You know, that has to be the right answer. Okay, hopefully that will make sense to you.